Well, hello, boys and girls. Welcome back. I was just looking in my crystal ball. You know, there's been times that I wish I could see into the future, like in this crystal ball. Wouldn't it be great to be able to see what's going to happen to us in the future? Yeah, we've all been like that at times. We wish that we could have known something was coming or knew what would be the outcomes. But, you know, that's something everybody does. They wish they knew what it was. But there's some excitement about not knowing. It's exploring. It's finding out things that you didn't really know. Well, I am going to share with you a story today about one of the world's greatest mysteries. What is that? No, it's not about treasure, but it can lead that way. It's something we all talk about. What is it going to be, or what am I going to be when I grow up? Oh, yes, adults even do that. I'm old and I'm still wondering what I'm going to do when I grow up. So I'm going to share this story with you about one of the age's greatest mysteries. What am I going to be when I grow up? By Al Yakovich. I waited so long for the hours to pass, but soon it was noon. There is Miss Crump's class. And Thursday at noon, as I'm sure you all know, is the time of the week when we do show and tell. And this week, the subject so special to me was when I grow up, what am I going to be? That's something I'd really been thinking about, and I just couldn't wait to let all those thoughts out. So when Mrs. Crump said, "Who's ready to share?" Who, can you guess, was there with his hand in the air? I raised both my hands just as high as they go, and I bounced up and down, and then, what do you know? Well, Mrs. Crump picked me, yes, me, to go first. Oh, I was happy, I thought. I would just burst. I proudly stood up and began my orientation concerning my choice for a future vocation. Esteemed friends and colleagues and dear Mrs. Crump, I know what I'm going to be when I grow up. Why, I'll be the greatest chef you've ever seen. The world will go crazy for my haute cuisine. I'll tantalize taste buds with my rigatoni, sautéed with black truffles and pickled bologna. Surrounded by kumquats and candied pig's feet, topped with shrimp-flavored lollipops. Bon appetit. My walls will be filled with awards that I've gotten for toast on a stick and Twinkies au gratin. My kitchen will be the most famous in France, so make reservations 12 years in advance. There's no doubt about it. I'm certain you see a world-renowned chef is what I am going to be. Sounds like he's got it well planned out, doesn't it, boys and girls? Let's see. Well, that's very nice, Billy, sweet Mrs. Crump said. Who wants to be next? Maybe Susie or Fred? I said, hold the phone now. I haven't departed. Hang on to your seats, 'cause I'm just getting started. What do you think Billy is going to say? Oh, so maybe instead I could be a snail trainer. Man, that would be awesome. Why, that's a no-brainer. I'll teach all my snails to do really neat tricks. They'll play dead, roll over, and even fetch sticks. Of course, all the sticks will come back 2 years later. But working with snails, what could be greater? They'll do any stunt like that I like. Holy moly, I'll train them to pedal a bike, but just really slowly. Then jump, ooze, through a huge ring of fire and crawl at the snail's pace across a high wire. Then finish by writing my name with their tails. That's right, I'll be Billy, the master of snails. Wow, that's a job I've never thought about. Or else maybe I'll be a lathe operator who makes the hydraulic torque wrench cabulator, which fine-tunes the wrench that's specifically made to retighten the nuts on the lateral blade that's directly beneath the main radical socket inside cooling systems on the X-14 rockets. And since this profession's as cool as can be, well, who would be better to do it than me? Say, here's an idea. Perhaps just for laughs, I might make my living by milking giraffes. It's oh so cliche to get milk from a cow, and I bet all those cows need a break anyhow. Imagine me milking way up in the air. I'd use a tall ladder instead of a chair. Milking giraffes? Another unique job. What? Milking giraffes? Mrs. Crump said, "Oh, please." I countered, "How else could we make giraffe cheese?" No, don't interrupt me. I'm not really through yet. There's still lots of stuff that I'm planning to do yet. 'Cause maybe I'll be a gorilla masseur. Is that a true job? Or an artist who sculpts out of chocolate mousse? Or a rodeo clown, or a movie director, or maybe a professional pickle inspector, or maybe a big sumo wrestler, or hedge fund investor, or smelly pit sniffing deodorant tester. Oh, or I'll be an expert on nuclear fission, or else a foot model, or a friendly mortician, or waiter, or skater, or master debater, or dinosaur duster museum curator, or TV repairman, or sidewalk sign waver, or part-time assistant tarantula shaver. And that's about when Mrs. Crump said, "Now, Billy, please make up your mind. This is getting quite silly. Which one of those things are you going to choose?" Well, I shuffled around and I looked at my shoes. And finally I said, "My great-grandfather Bob's been a whole lot of things, had a whole bunch of jobs. A butcher, a barber, a bellman, a bouncer, a telephone psychic, and bingo announcer. You know what? He's just turned 103. 103. And he's still not quite sure what he wants to be." Wow. See, I'm only 8 now, so frankly I'm hoping you'll cut me some slack if I leave options open. Let's just wait and find out what my future will bring. Hey, I might have time to do all of those things. And then the bell rang and we all went to lunch. And as I was sipping my pineapple punch, I pondered professions that I'd like to enter, like brave firefighters or crazy inventors. Or maybe, just maybe now, when I grow up, I can be a great teacher like Mrs. Crump. The end. Wow. There's a lot of neat things you can do when you grow up, isn't it, boys and girls? Yes. So, it's like looking into a crystal ball. What will I be? The neat thing is, you can be anything. Or you can be all of those things. Just like I said, I still don't know what I want to be when I grow up. Everything I do prepares me for what could happen next. We can't see into the future, but it doesn't mean we cannot start preparing now. So our schoolwork and what we do around the house is all teaching us skills that we may use later on. From writing, from reading, from doing math, doing science, social studies, but even some minuscule things that we don't think about or like to do, like cleaning our room or setting the table, taking out trash, walking our pets. All of those things are teaching important skills that's going to help you when you grow up. Well, have a wonderful day, my friends, and always make it a great one. Now, one last thing. Let's try to peer into the future. Mecca lecca hi, mecca honey ho, mecca lecca hi, mecca Johnny ho. What do I see? I'll see you later. Have a great day.